Hi, I'm Stassi Schroeder, and I'm in studio with The Hollywood Reporter.
Hey there, Stassi. How are you?
Hi, good.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, so you have a lot going on. You have Vanderpump Rules. You just bought a house. You have your podcast. You have a podcast tour. You wrote a book.
Yeah.
Super busy. Are you feeling...
Fuck my life. You know what I mean?
Do you love it or do you hate it? Or what's going on?
I thrive when I'm busy, but I am the ultimate complainer. I love to be busy, but I have to be able to bitch and moan about it throughout the whole process. I'm overwhelmed.
Were you just sort of riding the wave and going, well, this might be a good idea to do next, or this is a good opportunity, I can't say no? What's your mindset? Because you could have just very well stayed on the show and, not necessarily branched out.
No, I'm not somebody who's like, don't say no to anything. It's like, no, I love to say no to things. I pride myself on being able to just say no. I think that there's so much that I want to do and that I want to accomplish that if people are willing to pay attention still and they care still, it's my time to do it. Yeah. So I'm just trying to take every opportunity that comes my way that I want to do and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I
kind of want to go slightly back to the beginning of Vanderpump because it's such a good reality show.
Vintage.
Well, it's more so about, I guess, you when you were in it, because in the first season, I guess, at what point did you realize that it was kind of a hit and that people were really responding? Was there a moment where you were like, oh?
No, it was very slow and steady.
Oh,
because
gotcha.
People do ask me that a lot, too. And they're like, when was the moment where you're like, whoa, I'm kind of successful, or this is a successful show, and it was just very slow and steady for me, I think. I don't feel like anything was just overnight.
Okay. Maybe that's good, because sometimes people that, find themselves in the limelight, someone is, screaming at them on the street, and it's kind of jarring to be like, oh, I guess I'm a star now.
But as we were being screamed at on the street, after season 1, we were all still broke. Oh. So you know what so it didn't feel like we were accomplishing anything because we were all still struggling so much. So maybe that's what's kept us humble and just really appreciative of everything that we're doing.
So some people, I think it was in one of our Hollywood Reporter articles actually, there was a small, a reference to sort of comparing Vanderpump to Downton Abbey in a way, because you had Housewives that was Lisa Vanderpump and her friends, and then there was Sir. I never thought about that before.
So Downton Abbey is one of my favorite shows.
Me too.
I don't know how I missed this. So we're the servants, basically.
I mean,
servants. S-U-R.
I didn't mean that, but that's leading into my next question, which is, how do you sort of think that it's going to evolve? Because now you guys are all super successful. You're not broke anymore, and you're not working at Sir, and how can the show sort of go on, and are you expecting spinoffs, or how do you see it evolving, I guess, in the future?
I think, listen, we're a real group of friends.
Yeah.
We're not like the Housewives where it's this one's interesting, let's cast them and then make them go on trips and lunches together. We were cast because we were truly all dating each other, and we were truly all best friends. And that hasn't changed. So even when we're not filming, there's still the people that I call and hang out with and travel with and spend holidays with. They're my chosen family. So as long as, I don't see that ever ending, the fact that they're always going to be in my life. It's how could this show not just grow with us? You know, you can't just take one of us out and replace us because we're still around each other, no matter what. So, it's if viewers want to see us, if they do want to grow with us, we obviously aren't going to, pretend to go work at Sir, but it's, I wonder, do people want to watch us growing up?
I have really enjoyed it, and I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit in what I had planned, but I have to say, I feel like you of all people have had such an interesting arc on the show, and I know it's your real life too, but it's seeing you evolve and grow and learn has been so amazing and so fulfilling. And I was actually curious, Did you feel that as the show was going on, or was it watching things back and noticing how,
I still don't feel it.
Oh, really?
I still don't feel it. People are like, God, you've grown so much, and like, you used to be such a cunt, like, and such a psycho. I'm like, I still kind of feel like the same person. I'm just like a little calmer, a little wiser.
Maybe.
I don't see it the way when people talk about that I've had like a character arc.
Yeah.
I see so many people saying that, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I'm just living. Don't most people have a character arc as they age?
Yeah, I think that's part of it too.
So
it's
to me, it just
older.
feels normal. It's like,
Yeah.
I've just gotten a little older.
Do you watch the episodes back though, ever, or not?
Like old ones?
Or like as the seasons are going, like do you sit down after season 8? Yeah.
I watch all of that.
Okay.
I watch everything. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh no, I don't watch the show. I don't watch it. Oh no, I need to know everything that's going out there. I have to know what the rest of the world is seeing.
Yes.
Like, I have to torture myself and watch it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you still sort of shocked to see people, what they say maybe in their single interviews behind your back?
That's never hurt my feelings. Because I feel like, maybe because I'm such a Real Housewives fan. Do you like the Housewives?
Love.
Okay. So I've been such a fan of the Housewives franchise for so long that I remember when they all got mad at Bethany after like season 1 or 2 for her interview bites, and I'm like, that's what makes the show funny. Like, no one wants to see an interview bite where you're just like, yeah, I really like that person and it was great. It's like, you can't take it personally.
Yeah.
It's just like what interviews are. It's like saying what you were really thinking in the moment that you just like didn't have the balls to say because you were just being polite. Yeah. That's how I view interviews. And I can't fault anyone for what their own thoughts are, even if they are bitchy. So that's never really hurt my feelings.
Well, I don't know if I could take it. So it's a very specific kind of person. You're very thick-skinned. I would be crying in every episode probably. You were talking about how you can't replace anybody. They have brought in some new cast members this season.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few. And I was one of those people that was like, oh, I don't know about this. Like in the first episode, I was like, I don't know about this. But what do you think about the rookies of the show? Who's going to make some great TV, do you think?
I think Dana's, as I've been watching, I'm like, Dana's pretty good. I laugh at everything that she says. She's honest. Yeah. She's open. She's not afraid to really get in there. The other girls, I don't really know that well. Yeah. They think they're just a lot younger. And so it's like if I were to go on Housewives, they'd be like, what is this bitch doing up in here? It's like, that's kind of how I feel about the other ones. It's like, I don't know how to relate to them. And I'm all about, like, a new cast member when it's like Lala caused a lot of drama. Now one of my best friends, James, causes a lot of drama, great for television. But you have to kind of, like, integrate them in a little more. So I think it's just been a little overwhelming for us to have so many of them because we kind of just don't understand what we're doing.
Yeah, it started off maybe, like you said, like a Lala and then a James slowly, Raquel. But then this season was just like, here's a bunch of new faces.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't mind it either as long as, I don't know, I wouldn't want them to get rid of any of the original cast unless you guys didn't want to be on there. But
it would, it would be ideal, Bravo. This is the camera I'm supposed to be looking at, right? Bravo. Yeah. Spin us off. Spin the OGs off because I need more airtime.
Okay, so the next thing was your podcast. You have, in my research, I was wondering how many episodes, and it said 278 episodes.
I didn't even know that.
At this point, which seems nuts. When did you first have the idea? Like, what made you want to start this podcast? And then, skipping way forward, what made you want to go on tour with it?
Okay, well, I was approached about doing a podcast like 6 years ago, and I was scared shitless because I was dating somebody who was on radio at the time. One of my best friends is a radio host, and I see how hard it is. I was like always like at Sirius XM, and I'm like, how do these people just... their brains have to be on. Like, it's not like filming a reality show where you can kind of just, like, sit back sometimes and just chill out. It's like you really have to fill up that space. And so I was terrified, and I just was like, okay, if this is something that is just so terrifying, that means I should probably try it. And they gave me a 6-month trial, and it did really well. And then I ended up loving it. And so here we are 5 years later. Yeah, I mean, I think it's so much fun because I can voice my opinions a little more clearly on a podcast and talk about things I want to talk about. And if I want to fucking talk about Downton Abbey, I can't do that on Vanderpump Rules. No one cares. You know?
This next segment will be great. Stassi's going to talk about Downton Abbey for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you know, to be fair, like, I would probably listen to that. Okay, so what's a typical tour? What's your tour like? What's the live show? What can people expect from that?
Well, so that was another thing I was terrified about doing. So many people are like, you have to do a tour now. You have to do a tour. I'm like, oh, hell fucking no. I love stand-up comedy. I love going to comedy shows. I think it's like the scariest job you could have to stand up and try and make people laugh. Granted, a live podcast, I'm not trying to make people laugh. I'm not a comedian, but I do have to entertain them. So I said no for a really long time. And finally, I just put my big girl pants on and was like, let's do this. And if we're going to do this, let's make a set. Let's have great lighting to distract people from the fact that I'm not as talented as I would like to be and make just like a full-blown show out of it with just fun segments. I could have Bo there. I can have my friend Taylor there. And it's fucking wild. I can't believe every time I go on stage, I'm like, I look in the audience, I'm like, how did I get you guys here? How did I convince you that this was worth taking a night off, getting a babysitter, and buying these tickets? It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and congratulations on that. The last thing, though, is your book. Yeah. So I read your book, and it's very much everything I expected it to be from you. I have to say, my favorite part, though, was probably the last chapter where you talk about mistakes. Yeah. Because it was just you're very open in general, I think, but hearing someone just truly write about messing up and owning it
makes me cringe even when I think about it.
But why was that important to have in the book? And
because it like reality TV and like my podcast, like I really feel like I pride myself on showing the good and the bad. You can't just show this manufactured, like manicured version of yourself. It's not a fucking curated Instagram page. If I am going to pride myself on honesty, that means I'm going to have to acknowledge and talk about the things that are very embarrassing and suck. And it literally like makes me sweat when I think about those. That it's just, you know, it is what it is, and I learned from it. But I just think it's important to just be honest.
Yeah. Have you had any meaningful feedback from fans? Like, what's maybe a moment or something where someone's really like connected with you?
A million. I'm really lucky that when I go on tour or when I do book signings, you know, people write me these long letters, or they're crying and explaining that like they were sick and in the hospital, or someone close to them died, or they were going through a breakup. And reading my book or listening to my podcast was what got them through it. And that is like, I save all of those notes. I save all of those cards and reread them sometimes when I need a self-esteem booster. But it makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I have a purpose that's not just entertaining people by being wasted and yelling at someone. It's like, okay, if I helped that just one of those people get through a death, wow, okay, I contributed something, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, are you going to write another book?
I am. I'm doing it right now, and it's hell on earth.
Amazing.
I thought that the second time it would be easier, but it's not. It's way harder, because I think I had such a very clear vision for the first one that now it's like, okay, well, my vision is clear, but it's just not. I had been prepping for this one for so long that now this one's harder.
All right. Well, can't wait to read that one whenever it comes out. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Check out Vanderpump Rules. Listen to Stassi's podcast. Go see her
Go
live
buy
show.
My tickets.
And there's something else. No, I guess those are just the three things.
That's enough. That's enough. Yeah.
No, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.